Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Civilspedia's Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. And in this video, we are going to discuss about the current events which are relevant to the 19th of June 2025. And the topics taken for today's discussion are the Governor's Award, which was recently initiated or going to accept the applications from various institutions and individuals who are eligible to get the award from the governor on Republic Day of 2026. And the topic of HIV and AIDS is fund scheme, which was recently initiated by the government of Tamil Nadu for the empowerment of the person who are infected or affected by the HIV or AIDS. And the third topic for the discussion is the All India Port and Dock Workers Welfare Federation, which was recently in the news because of the recent appointment made in the Andhra Pradesh state. And the fourth topic and fifth topic we are going to discuss from the point of view of mains, and the topics are the Karnataka's the recent proposal by the state government of Karnataka for increasing the working hours of the laborers and workers, and its implications in the society or the implications in the societal structure and the workforce nature. And the fifth topic is the India's need of inclusive pension scheme, which was recently in news because of the there is ambiguity in the present pension scheme, and with respect to the what is pension scheme and what are the all the challenges involved in the process of inclusivity, and what are all the things need to be done and the way forward. Before getting into the topic, a small announcement to make. This is a pleasant announcement from the Shankar IAS Academy that under the Moksha's Mains Test Series program, those who are going to appear for the UPSC Mains 2025 are eligible to get the scholarship from this test series. And this is an inclusive test series program that it does not involve only the aspirants who are going to appear for the 2025, which also has the space for the aspirants who are sincere and very serious in his preparation also can enroll in this test series. And the test series is of very qualitative in nature, and it has the following feature which was displayed beside in the display. And for further details, please contact 9444166435 or 9003073321 for further details regarding availing this scholarship and as well as enrolling this program. And this program will be hugely beneficiary, and it is of very quality in nature. And all the best for the aspirants who are going to appear for this mains 2025. In this topic, recently the Raj Bhavan, that is the office of governor or the residence of governor, has invited applications or nominations for the governor's award for the 2025. The award will be awarded. This award will be awarded only in Republic Day of 2026 by the governor directly. And it is in news because that is I said earlier that the Raj Bhavan has recently invited nominations from the individuals as well as the institutionals for receiving or getting the award or the nominations to get award from the governor's hand. And this award will recognize the outstanding works done on two categories, namely the social service and the protection of environment. And the winners of the award will be felicitated on the occasion of our Republic Day on January 26 by the hands of governor itself. And what are all the key provisions involved in this award, or the categories under which the award will be provided, or majorly of two categories, that is social service and environmental protection. And this award will be shortlisted by four winners, out of which uh, uh, the four winners are to be from these two categories are shortlisted as 3 and 1. That is, one is for the institutional side, and the three award is for the individual category, and the institutional who played a major role in the either social service or environmental protection will get the remuneration or the cash award of rupees 5 lakh, and the individual will get a cash reward or incentivized award of rupees 2 lakh each. And along with the incentivized award or the cash reward, a citation, that is the detailed description under which who category the award is awarded to the nominated person or the shortlisted person, and the achievement or the progress they made, along with the appreciation certificate of it is like a certificate of appreciation will also be provided along with the cash prize. And the deadline for the acceptance of this invitation or the nomination is August 14th of 2025. And please note that this award will be awarded only on the occasion of Republic Day of 2026. And regarding the eligibility and the purpose of providing this uh, award is that for individual and organization which are doing great work and that made a significant progress in the social sector or the social societal structure, and also plays a significant role in the protection of environment without the formal recognition from the state level authorities or the state government. This creates a sense of inclusivity, and it also recognizes the person that our works has been monitored or categorized and incentivized in nature. And if we made a significant work in a progressive way, we also get nominated or we also get the award in under any of the program. It may be either under state government or it may be under the governor directly. And this made the grassroots and this encourages overall individuals as well as the institution to promote social service activities as well as the protection of environment from the grassroots level, as it incentivized and it also gives a sense of recognition. Its status got elevated in the society, and it also has the sense of pride. It makes the organization as well as the individual to make feel a sense of pride, so it also creates a positive impact in the society, and it also has the sense of inclusivity in the society. And many unsung heroes are being recognized, and which are being identified or incentivized to make them more motivated, and which also propagates a positive idea and also makes the sense of pragmatic activities which are need to be taken in the society to elevate the social structure as well as the environmental protection. Apart from the state government's recognition, why this governor's award is more important or it got its prominence because of the constitutional morality it has, that I said earlier, that it got the feeling of more pride, and it also identify a single individual who played a significant role in the elevation or the upliftment of poor or various social service categories, is constitutional morality, and also the moral leadership among the people. It also provides a sense of stimulus to the people who are or the organization which also tries to make people elevated or being uplifted in the society. And it got and provision in the constitutional itself, like in the article of 38, 39 and 48A of the constitution. And it also encourages the various civil society organizations which played a major role in the society for the social upliftment and also for the protection of environment. and it also enhances the public trust among the individuals as well as the organization, and it also enhances the organizational capability to do more to the society, and it majorly aligns with the sustainable development goals of goal number 3, 13, and as well as 16. And it also has been recognized as the social tool or the ethical tool to moralize or to create a cohesive environment for the growth of all. And lastly, it also promotes the sense of cooperative federalism, and it also paves the way for the deep rooting of federalism structure of cooperative federalism in the state government itself. Moving to the prelims practice question, with reference to the Governor's Award of 2025 instituted by the State Raj Bhavan, that is the official residence of Governor, consider the following. First statement, awards are for social service and environmental protection, which is a correct statement as we discussed earlier. And the second statement, only individuals with previous state level awards are eligible, which is a little bit confusing statement. And the third statement is governor felicitates awardees on Republic Day. It is a correct statement, and that statement is correct as we seen earlier. And the fourth statement, institutional winners receive more prize, which is also a correct statement because the institution is a group of people who are coordinatively working for the upliftment of the people, and which needs to be incentivized more to more institutions to get the stimulus of moral persuasion. So the fourth statement is also correct, and the institutional winners will get the reward of rupees 5 lakh. So the fourth statement is also correct. By eliminating the second statement from the option, we will have shortlisted the options to A and B, and by saying that we can easily arrive at the answer of option 1, 3, and 4, which is the correct statement, because we cannot left the third statement as wrong because the third statement is correct. So the answer is A, 1, 3, and 4. Moving to the next topic, the recently launched iconic scheme by the Tamil Nadu government has the provision of incentivizing the individuals or the person who are affected with AIDS or HIV by incentivizing or motivating them by providing an incentive of rupees 1,000 a month for individuals children of 7,618, and it also gives a stimulus for their education, nutrition, and medical needs of these particular children. And this scheme also involves red ribbon clubs who are progressively working for the welfare of the a person or the children who are affected with HIV or AIDS, and also improves the school life skill training for maintaining awareness. And we have to know what is the HIV, that is human immunodeficiency virus. As the name itself, this virus will create a huge impact on the immune system of the human beings, and it will get the human immune system more deficient of actively targeting the virus. And it is a type of lentivirus, that is a subtype of retrovirus, and it specifically attacks the CD4 plus cells, that is helper cell in creating the structure of immune system. And by basically targeting this type of helper cells, the immune system got collapsed and it got confused by what to do with the antigen or the alien virus which is in the human body, and which leads to the critical condition called AIDS, that is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. And if it is untreated, it may lead to the fatality more progressively and faster. And what is the progression or the propagating factor of this HIV virus is that when it enters into the body, that is, it destroys the white blood cells, specifically the immune system helper cells called the CD4 cells, and it replicates in the immune cells. Basically, a virus needs a host to survive or to propagate. That is the nature of the virus. And this virus specifically targets the CD4 cells and acquires the cell and make it as a host cell, and it got replicates from the cell, so that our immune system cannot identify or differentiate between what is the virus and what is helper cell, or the cell which the body contains, which creates a huge defect on the deficiency of the immune system, and it got the immune cells to dwindle more in numbers, which weakens the immune system. And it also leads to the susceptibility to the various other infections, as the immune system of our body got uh, unguarded by the basic immune system present in our body. And this virus will lead to the various complications and other various infections to the body, like cancer also. And if it is let untreated, or it got untreated, the survival rate is around 9 to 11 years. And if a individual or a person who are already infected or have the deficiency of immune system will have the more shorter fatality rate, because it got the numbers of immune cells more dwindling, and the survival rate is also very low. And the basic transmission of this HIV virus is the sexual intercourse, and it is not being specifically not being spread through hugging or kissing or like salival transmission. It specifically transmits through blood and semen, vaginal fluid, breast milk, or the pre-ejaculation, and it does not spread through saliva or sweat. And the types of HIV virus involves two categories, that is HIV-1, which is most prevalent and the most common worldwide, which got classified into four groups, namely the M, N, O, and P. And the most prevalent type of HIV-1 virus is the M variety, that causes around 90 cases of HIV infections. And the second type is the HIV-2, which is found basically or specifically to Western African region, and it is most resemble of SIV virus, that is simian immunodeficiency virus, which is basically on a type of virus which was seen in monkeys or animals. And it got classified into 8 groups from A to H. And what is the basic difference between the HIV and the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome? HIV is the virus that got the immune system under control, and it got the immune system to weaken. This virus can be transmitted, or it got replicated in the human cell itself, and it got transmitted from one person to another easily. And it is not the causative virus to got the mortality of a person, as it only dwindles the immune system's power, and it also got the cell which helps to support the immune system to fight against the antigen or the alien body to dwindle. And what is AIDS is that it is the final stage, or the later stage of infection, that is HIV virus. After acquiring by or affected by this virus, this HIV virus got opened the gates for other infections like cancer and even diabetes and other complications which may lead to easy mortality of a person. And with regard to the government action, there is a provision in the government separate act for under the government, that is HIV and AIDS Prevention and Control Act of 2017, which was enacted by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, which is in force since 2018, and it ensures the activities which are taken to prevent the spread or transmission of this virus or the disease. And it involves the holistic treatment provided like antiretroviral therapy or the PrEP therapy, which was recently discussed earlier in the current affairs video. And it also involves the creation of awareness among the society as well as the individuals by practicing safe sex practices or the safe transfusion of blood from one individual to another, and to ensure every blood transfusion got to be screened, and various other activities involved to eliminate this propagation of this disease from one individual to another. And it also prohibits or strives to eliminate the discrimination practices practiced in the society by health workers itself, and also by the individuals who are non-affected by the HIV virus. And it also has to strive to protect the rights of the person who are affected by the HIV virus. And the act also has the provisions which are very key in the for the development of this act to in a progressive way, is that it does not it does not create any discrimination in the provision of jobs and provision of healthcare and the provision of housing facility to the affected person or the infected person. And as I said in the earlier slide, that no person can be tested for the HIV without their own consent, and there must be a strong protection of their personal data for maintaining a high level of security and to make them secure from the other discriminatory activities done by the other people. And it also has the provision of not to disclose by the person who are infected by the individual virus, not to disclose unless until they are to be ensured or done through the court. And if the provisions provided in this act was violated, the penalties will be around 1 lakh of fine or 3 months to 2 years of imprisonment will be sentenced. And it can also appoint a ombudsman mechanism to address the complaint of the individuals, and it has to necessarily submit reports every 6 months to the state government. The prelims practice question for this section is the which of the following statements regarding HIV/AIDS are correct? HIV can be transmitted through casual contact like hugging and shaking hands, which is obviously a wrong statement, because it needs to be a physical contact, not it will be a more like a physical contact of sexual intercourse or the transmission of blood or usage of needle by one person to another is the causative or the main reason for the transmission of this disease. And the hugging and shaking of hands will not be an transmission process of this disease. So the first statement is incorrect. The second statement is AIDS is the final and most severe phase of HIV infection, which is obviously a correct statement. And red ribbon clubs or initiatives to spread awareness on HIV or AIDS among youth, which is correct. They are working tirelessly for the empowerment or the creation of awareness among youth regarding this virus. So the second and third statement is correct. So the option answer is option A, 2 and 3 only. Let's move to the next topic. This topic is about the recent appointment made in the Visakhapatnam Port Authority, and the appointed person is SK Basha, who is being appointed as the chairman of Port Trust Workers Federation. And let's get to know more about this All India Port Trust Workers Federation. And the key highlights of this appointment are Mr. Shaikh Khalifatullah Basha has been appointed as the Andhra Pradesh state chairman for the All India Port Trust Workers Federation, which is a unit of All India Port Trust Workers Federation, which is specifically on the Andhra Pradesh. And this Basha is the president of Andhra Pradesh Bharatiya Janata Mazdoor Cell, which we are going to know about in the later slide. That and this appointment was made announced by the national chairman of All India Port Trust Worker Federation in the event of Viksit Bharat, that is the proclamation or the exemplification of 11 years of the present government under the and their governance establishment. And this All India Port Trust Worker Federation has requested the Visakhapatnam Port Authority to allocate a separate office space for this unit to function under this port, that is Visakhapatnam Port. We are going to know about the Visakhapatnam Port Authority. It is the only major port in Andhra Pradesh, that is only functional port in Andhra Pradesh state, and it aims to become a 100% landlord port. If any of the aspirants who are watching this video know about the landlord port, please mention in the comment section, or I will mention in the later section of this video. This 100% landlord port will to be achieved by the year of 2030, which also enhances or improves the private sector participation in the port activity. And this Visakhapatnam port will also get the stimulus of rupees 165 crores to revamp the infrastructure on the Quay 6, that is West Quay 6 terminal, to boost up the handling of cargo by this port management. And this Visakhapatnam Port Authority is also handling or adopting green initiatives like green belt development among the port activity and the port management, which also partnered with the greening and beautification cooperation, which is currently being undertaken in various other state government, Andhra Pradesh state government activity. This Visakhapatnam port activities also getting partner in this green initiatives to reduce air pollution. And what is All India Port and Dock Workers Federation is about? The as I said, the expansion or the full name, natural name of this AIPDWF is the All India Port and Dock Workers Federation, and it was founded in the year of 1949, and it got its affiliation or the affiliated partner of this All India Port and Dock Worker Federation is the Hind Mazdoor Sabha, which I said earlier. The Badshah is a member of one of the partner cell of this Hind Mazdoor Sabha, and it is a kind of socialist trade union center, which is in line with the AITUC, and it got its area of purview or the coverage is representing workers who are working in 12 major ports of India, which are government owned ports. And the membership of this All India Port and Dock Workers Federation is around 99,000 employees across 11 ports and 4 dock labor boards. And with respect to this All India Port and Dock Workers Federation, it was established after independence, in post independence, to create an unified or umbrella federation for the port workers welfare. And in the year of 1989, there is a significant split, a vertical split in this federation, as it is a national wide strike was happening at that time. And on the line with the expired agreements on the workers and the management of this port, and which led to the vertical split of led by the person name called Shanti Patel, and creates a separate entity. And after that, the Supreme Court of India intervened in the faction, and upheld the legitimacy of this faction, and creates a separate autonomy to this federation. As we can easily obtain the key objectives and activities of this federation from the name itself, it is a work centric or the worker centric, a labor centric organization. It is mainly gave voice to the collective bargaining capacity of the workers, as it sounds a unified voice of the workers to so it makes the collective recognition or the collective bargaining function of the workers by negotiating wages, and by elevating the working conditions or to improve the working conditions, and it strives for the benefit of the workers, specifically the port workers. And it has also the legal provisions, or it also provide advocates for the legality of this organization or the federation. And it also can initiate, or it strives for the it and it also protest or strike by against the port management or the authority for getting its need, or the major activity it can take by this federation is the strikes or protest done by them for the collective enhancement or the collective enrichment of the workers welfare. And it also organized a national wide protest, which was significant on the year of 2018, demanding equitable wages for the workers who are working on the port. And it also has to create this strike or initiate this protest because of the enforcement of the labor laws, or to work along with the in line with the labor laws in the among the shipping companies. And among the working group of this federation, there is a constant challenge or the contemporary challenges, which was prolonged in from earlier days to present itself, or the privatization concern, that is sense of privatizing the firm or privatizing the labor force will create a sense of insecurity among the work, or the corporatization of major ports also create a sense of layoff, or the sense of job security and getting benefits is also more. And other challenges involved in this federation is that the highlight of the growing number of contract workers, that is increasing number of contract workers will create a sense of job security or the joblessness among the permanent workers. And it also, this federation also stringently opposes the Major Port Authority Bill, which was introduced in the year 2016, because it feels that it is the erosion. It feels that it may erode the autonomy of the port workers as well as the port management. Moving to the prelims practice question, consider the following statement. The All India Port and Dock Workers Federation was established in the year 1949 and is affiliated with the Hind Mazdoor Sabha. As we discussed earlier, the first statement is exactly correct. And the second statement, the Visakhapatnam Port Authority is aiming to become 100% landlord port by 2030, with private companies handling all day-to-day operations. And this second statement is also correct, even though it got 100%, which is ambiguous statement provided to confuse aspirants. This 100% is correct in this context, question context. And the landlord port is a port which is mixed cooperation between private and public, as and the public is acts as the regulatory body. That is, the port authority acts as the regulatory body, and the private is managing the port management activities. So this question, the answer is both 1 and 2 is correct. Answer is C. Karnataka state government has recently introduced a draft amendment in the Karnataka Shops and Commercial Establishment Act of 1961 by increasing the daily working hour from 9 hours to 10 hours. And it also has made the benchmark of uplifting the overtime cap to 12 hours, which is earlier 10 hours is the highest cap, but now it has been uplifted to 12 hours. And for quarterly it is has been elevated to 144 hours for quarters. And this draft amendment is introduced for having it aligned with the central government's recent labor reform push. And it in the draft amendment of this Karnataka government, by the Karnataka government, has staunch or stark opposition from the labor unions concerning over the fatigue or exploitation due to the excess hours of increasing the working hours of the laborers. And regarding the legal framework or the legal provisions involved or governing the working hours in the India, working hours of laborers in India, or the Factories Act of 1948, which was a prominent act, we need to note. And the Factories Act of 1948 states that the minimum hours or the maximum hour of work for a day by an individual is around 9 hours for a day, and 48 hours per week is the maximum OT hours. It may not exclude 60 hours a month. And regarding the and other legal provision is the operational safety and operational safety, health and working conditions of code of 2022, which is not yet enforced, but it also has the permitted capacity or permitted working hour for individual labor is up to 12 hours a day. And the third legal framework is the Minimum Wages Act of 1948, which defines the clearly defines the working day and working rest in between the work is considered to also to be a part of a work, is also defined clearly in the Minimum Wages Act of 1948. And the last provision is the comes under the individual states autonomy or the individual state legislation, that is Shops and Commercial Establishment Act. and these are all the provisions or the proposed amendment in the Karnataka's recent draft amendment for increasing the working hours. And the daily working hours was earlier it is 9 hours, and it got elevated to or it got upgraded to 10 hours, and the maximum work of OT will be earlier 10 hours, it got updated to 12 hours, which is 2 hours extra. And the weekly work limit will be 48 hours per week, but it got also no change in the proposed amendment. And the quarterly overtime limit is uh, has its stark increase in numbers, because earlier it was 50 hours, and the proposed amendment it has 144 hours, which is stark increase in numbers, because it played a huge role in workers or laborers mentality, and it will create an impact in the societal structure also. It will reflect in the societal structure also. And the establishment, the amendment it covers, or earlier it is covered for all the type of workers with minimum of 10 laborers or 10 workers, but it got exempted in the proposed amendment. And every coin has two sides, positive or negative. These are all the positive implications, the listed or the positive implications of this proposed amendment. That is, it will also helps to enhance the ease of doing business. That is, when the work time has been increased, the doing business capacity or the capacity of the business also got enhanced because of the extended duration. And it will also boost up the short term productivity. That is, for the short term only, not on the long term, because it has huge implications on the long term. And it also attracts the investors via uniformity with central codes. That is, when aligning with the unified code system of labor hours, we can easily from length and breadth of nation, there will be one code or the unified code to be followed by the laborers, which got huge attention from the investors, because if there is an extended hour of working, then the investor is ready or very trusted to invest in the market. And and it also align with the global working standards. Because of the extended working hour, we can easily align with the various time zones and various working nature of the other nations, so that they can do business easily in our market. And flip side of the act or the proposed amendment got various consequences, like it may lead to the monotonous feel of the workers who are spending more time on production or other activities in the business. It may lead to the fatigue and stress, create stress among the workers and the laborers who try to work hard and try to work more for getting more wages or more incentive from the extended hour or the OT. And it also creates a distress in the mental well-being of the individual, and it also has the huge impact on the work-life balance of the individual. And if the period of working hours got extended, it will also lead to the health consequences of the individual, which is not covered under this amendment, proposed amendment. And and it got the vague zone of exploitation in informal sectors, because every proposed amendment as of now does not incur or does not include the informal sector, and most of the proposed amendments are exclude of informal sectors. By excluding the informal sectors, we cannot made a holistic or unified labor law, because most of the laborers belongs to the informal sector. And with extending the labor hours or the working hours will also reduce the significantly number of job creations or the avenue for the job. And it will lead to the long term productivity issues because first initially it got hype because of the labor push for incentive, but after a certain period of time labor got monotonous and they got relieved themselves from doing overtime jobs. So there is a lag in progress or productivity, so it will affect in the long term. What are all the challenges in the implementation of this proposed amendment? Is the first one is the central law labor code, which is not yet come to force, which creates a duality in law, because if it is enforced in this state but it not yet proposed or enforced in the central code, it will create a disruption. And the major challenge proposed by this amendment is the labor unions resistance to the proposed amendment, and it does not come alignment with the international labor organizations compliance code. And the proposed amendment is in the mentality that a one size fit all approach will lead to an ignorance of informal sectors and other various sectoral specific approaches by the government. And by implementing this proposed amendment, we cannot able to monitor or keep in touch with the informal sector, and we cannot able to account the holistic working hours of the informal sector people or the individual laborers who are working under the informal sector, which is a major lacuna in this proposed amendment. And moving on to the way forward of this policy and the safeguard mechanism, we can ensure the stakeholders consultation, or we have to take in account of the individual concern or the laborer concern by approaching the labor unions, and the industries and other civil society organization in association with the labor welfare. And it also has to be in a sector specific manner, because one sector may in need of extra time or the extended time, but other sector doesn't has to incorporate the extended working hours, which also creates a disruption in the implementation of this act. And if an proposed amendment will have to be implemented, it needs to be done in a pilot manner, and it has to be implemented only in a staged manner, so that we can easily identify and eliminate the potential concerns arise out of the implementation. And there should, if this amendment is proposed to be implemented, this amendment will also has to include the formal explanation about the resting periods, which is not an inclusive in the working hours. It needs to be elucidated in the amendment itself, and there will be a mechanism for addressing their grievances from the laborers, and they have to be given or provided with the week offs regularly and intermittently, even though it is not mandatory. It needs to be compulsorily provided, and it has to be implemented only on the sections of labor intensive sectors, because it needs the extended working time, because and in proposing the amendment to the labor intensified sector, the incentive also needs to be in an increased manner, and access to the adequate healthcare provisions, or the provision for the health care, and adequate insurance policies, and providing moral and mental health support to the individuals who are working tirelessly for the productivity of the organization or the industry needs to be taken into account. And the workers or laborers also has to be empowered or created very awareness about the legal and moral rights they have for the working in the organization. and there should be a strengthening of labor inspections by the free adequate labor intervention by the authorities for the compliance of the labor laws or the labor provisions. With this, we conclude this topic with the following options, that is, reforms should be made to strike a balance between economic growth and the worker rights, and it must be taken into account that the implementation of or the having the cohesive environment for working creating a working conditions under the constitution, Indian constitution, DPSP article 42, creation of working human working condition is also to be included. And this proposed amendment by the Karnataka's labor law, labor provision, will be an template for inclusive labor dialogue. Moving to the mains practice question for this labor laws or the extending the working hours, the Karnataka's uh, government's proposed amendment to increase daily working hours in shops and commercial establishments has sparked concerns among labor unions. Discuss the legal provision governing working hours in India, the possible impacts of such a move, associated challenges, and suggest a way forward. And we have to address all the key provisions or the key words underlined in this section, that is the legal provisions governing the working hours in India, possible impacts, associated challenges, and suggest a way forward. We have to include all this into our answer, and we have to dynamically answer with the other labor provisions which are practiced in all over the world. Even though India is a country with the highest number of population of youths in the proportion, the recent shift in the demographic profile of India shows some concern, and the policymakers need to intervene in correctly to make a correct proposed amendment, or need to create a unified pension system to accommodate all the sectors of the Indian society to be more inclusive and be progressive. And as this is in news because of the India's pension assets over the GDP is shown a very declined rate of just 17% with respect to the GDP of India, and versus the overall developed nation has around 80% of its pension assets along with their country's GDP. And India, with only 12% of the workforce is under the formal employment or the formal pension getting category. It doesn't covers the informal sectors or the informal sector persons or gig persons. And the increase in the old age dependency ratio will be around 30% by the year of 2030, will also have the concern for the establishment of inclusive pension scheme. What are all the legal provisions or the legal policy actions need provisions in the Indian government systems, or in the Indian Constitution's DPSP, that is Part 4, under Article 41, it also mandates the state to support for the elderly people who are not very active, or who cannot take any profession or practice any work. And the National Pension Scheme and the Atal Pension Yojana is a voluntary pension scheme and not of a compulsory pension scheme, and it mainly concerns for the unorganized sector or the unorganized workers who are excluded from getting pension, and who are not aware of taking pension, or who may feel unsecured because they may not get the correct benefits at the time of their matured age. And the Code on Social Security Act of 2022 covers the gig economy workers or the platform workers also. And what are all the current issues that faced by the current pension scheme of the India are, it covers only the limited individuals or the limited workers who get the pension, who are eligible for getting the pension. And it also got covered only the formal sector. It outrightly excluded the informal sector, which is a major lack in profile or a major lack in the coverage of the scheme. And the implementation of this scheme is also fragmented, and it got multiple dimensions or the multiple hierarchy include in this getting of pension. And the scheme is also not implemented or coordinated in a proper manner. And the gig economy workers will partially covered but not exclusively covered under this current pension scheme. And one major reason for its narrowed approach of pension coverage is that it got the poor financial literacy among the workers, and also the lack of awareness among the workers for opting out of pensions. And it is a voluntary in nature which may feel them excluded. And highlighting the key challenges of this new pension scheme or the inclusive pension system is that the major concern was the increase in the number of aged people, that is aged population in the population proportion shows a concern over the getting of pension, because in the later stage or the on their matured stage, after they got retired or they may not work after that, they will not get the benefit from any source, and they may be excluded from the family itself because of not earning. They may not be earning for the family. And the exclusion of gig economy, which plays a major role in the current Indian environment, is also shows a major concern. And the provision of voluntary enrollment, that is the individual has to voluntarily opt out for the pension scheme and not made by mandatory by the government or any other industry or any other employee itself is a concern, which leads to the minimum participation or the lack of participation of individuals for opting out the pension scheme. And if an individual wants to invest in the pension scheme or the opting out for the pension plan, it has some ambiguity, and it also has the risk of investment among the individuals who are ready to invest. And the complexity or the complex structure of investment and the ambiguity in getting the benefit at the correct stage, or the opting out of nominee after anything happened to the individual, which also has the concern over this implementation of this inclusive payment system, pension system. And the way forward for this inclusive pension system will be in a three-tier manner. That is, tier one, that is opting out or from opting out or voluntary manner, it needs to be flat rate manner, and it needs to be given a mandatory pension for all who are all eligible, like voting rights after 18 years or after certain years, all are eligible for getting or mandatorily eligible for getting the flat rate of pension under the scheme can be implemented. And the second tier of proposed way forward is the auto enrolled employer based scheme. That is, when an employee is employing employer is employing an employee in the industry or some other organization, they may be automatically enrolled in the pension scheme based on the capacity of the industry. And it needs to be done with the payment given, that is wages, work, salary, or any other remuneration they get, they will get the pension amount. And in the tier 3, voluntary saving with the tax benefits, that is they may have to voluntarily opt out for certain amount of savings from their earnings, and it needs to be given only after certain time, and it will come along with the certain tax benefits. which will stimulate the approach of savings among the individuals as well as the workers, and it's also increase the positive trust among the scheme among the individuals. And what needs to be done to get the three-tier way forward to be implemented is the enrollment of unified regulator to monitor and streamline the unified pension scheme or the integrated or inclusive pension system to reduce the amount of fragmentation or the distribution of laborers from the other market sources, and to increase the financial literacy from the school itself, and to maintain a campaign for laborers and other workers using labor unions and other organizations, civil society organizations, and the creating a separate dedicated portal or website or any other platform, maybe include them by digital pension infrastructure, and having access to the individual laborers will ensure them a sense of accountability and also a moral stimulus for opting out for the pension. And the government needs to ensure that the investment made out on the pension as well as the savings that they offer for the later dispatchment of their benefit will be secured, and the debt fund invested and the private participation also needs to be streamlined to create a strong regulative body to make them more progressive. The main practice question for this section is that as India undergoes a demographic transition, ensuring old age security has become a national imperative. Examine the limitations of the current pension system in India and suggest a framework for a more inclusive and sustainable pension ecosystem. This is a 15 mark question, and it needs to be within the 250 word limit, but it is a dynamic question. We have to approach with the demographic transition and the old age security and other later legal provisions from the point of view of India, and we need to address the current pension system in India also, and what are all the things needs to be done to get them more inclusive and in a sustainable manner. With this, we conclude the today's video for this section. Hope you guys like the video. Your like for the video gives us a positive motivation and an enthusiasm to do more content like this, and please share your positive comments in the comment section given below, and share the video to your friends, and please stay in touch with us by subscribing to our Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel.